Welcome to the Tomb of Illumination. It's an interesting video for flat earthers understanding the ecliptic plane and the season of the Milky Way in each hemisphere. So if you haven't seen my videos before, I've done a big blown up image of the flat earth system, how it all works. This is all factual. It's nothing, you've been lied to if you think you live on a globe, okay? Anyway, I think most of my subscribers and most people watching will be flat earthers. I think most of you will be familiar with my design here. The actual earthly system, the physics involved with the earth. So here we have the southern hemisphere all the way around here. We have the big tropical gap. We have the smaller northern hemisphere. Why is it so small? Because that's the way a toroidal field works. Everything is expressed out from the centre and gets bigger and bigger and bigger as it gets out there. Then it returns back in. The field returns back in, but in a toroidal field, what happens is you expand all the way out. Because you're expanding as you go out, you're getting wider and wider and wider, which makes you relative to the arcs of longitude at all times. So getting from A to B, look, you're getting across here quicker because you're a giant. Back here you're not a giant, you're a little person just getting from A to B between the arcs of longitude. But because there's no variance, no difference between the arcs of longitude, they tell you you're the same size here as back there by using a ball, bringing everything back down into a ball. But it's only your arc of horizon that goes up and over, goes out of your horizon. The flat earth doesn't curve down. It's not curving down. No, it's just your perspective. But anyway, onto the Milky Way. So I've drawn a few pictures here. So you have to understand that the magnetic field over the earth is shaped like this, and every man on his arc of horizon, he's always in a position north to south, which is called a meridian. He is on a meridian at all times, from the centre to out to the south. So in his arc of horizon, he will have this image plastered seen in his arc. So if you set up a camera, he'll take a photo, get an image of this over the whole year if he tracked the sun. Shot photos every hour of the day, every exact same time of the day, every day for 365 days. He gets this pattern. So because that's our little arc of horizon, which is like a little mini-me in here, you only get a little image which we assume is in here. So, so the sun is moving around in here in one aspect of the whole overall picture, because we're both getting an image. The northern hemisphere gets an image and the southern hemisphere gets an image. So what do? You stick the sun in the middle, don't you? So this is how it works. That's the magnetic field in the south. They're all like this, all the way around like that. And in the north, they're all like this, all the way around like that. And they're always sweeping together like this. As they sweep together, that's driving the sun. The whole ecliptic plane is moving around in here. Well, because of this moving magnetic field. The toroidal field that's turning in the centre Arctic. What turns it is the central vortex. There's a central vortex in the centre Arctic. And what's driving the vortex? Or what does it say in religion? The four winds. This is why we have the cold and the warm in the tropic region here, or either side, because it drives the whole system. It's called four winds just because there's four cardinal directions, I suppose. But those winds drive the vortex, vortex in the centre Arctic, and that's where creation is, but it's beyond the event horizon. It's inside here, we can't get to it. But there's a hurricane in there basically. It drives the whole system. And there's all our celestial bodies, everything. That's space in there. It's not billions and millions of miles away. No, it's just here. But we can't get in there because we're part of the system. We're expressed out from creation. We can't go back into creation, only if you die. And the only way you do that is go through the Milky Way, if you're lucky. Otherwise, you just go up. It's expanded molecules, because it's all about the water. That's why bodies are 98% moisture, because all our spirit, soul's all in the fluid. And that evaporates, goes up, doesn't it? Expands and goes through the recycling system. But if you if you have raised your soul, then it changes the molecular structure of the water or fluid or the blood, the moisture in there, because it holds a record. Water holds the records. It goes up and it gets absorbed through the Milky Way. Because in this vortex, you can go up and, because it's all being pulled into the tropical region anyway. You just get pulled into the vortex. But anyway, the video is not about that. But then you have to bear in mind the Milky Way is the male aspect, so I've got to research that a bit more. Okay, we'll just get back to this magnetic field. So there's your sun's analemma, right? You get the crossover. The crossover is about 9 degrees north, which is the 6th of September. And realise, because this is the centre turning spot right in here, it's turning the whole system. It's driving the whole system. That's what drives the sun and everything around our earth, from that central vortex of creation. So the images in here are projected out here, but they're inverted. So in the north it's got an upward system like that looking up, but in the south it's a downward system. That's why we're not finding the pairing between the stars, because one's from the bottom of the vortex upwards, the other one's from the top of the vortex downwards. Inverted. Male and female type thing again. So as these are as it's turning, this is continuously moving. So there's one of these everywhere, all the way around here. So as it's moving, this curve starts straightening up, because you'll always have your southern image on your meridian. Your rotation is here, but as the whole system's moving over your arc of horizon, out of your horizon, this starts coming up like this, or it seems to go like that. That's what happens. It ends up being straight. Okay? And it ends up being straight with this one. There's your alignment. You'll find on the map, if you go check out your times and everything, that time there is exactly the same time of the day as that. That's in the northern, it's in Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, dead north to south, the same times. Because that's a direct route, north to south on a compass bearing. But the sun can be anywhere around here. So that time all the way around there is the same time as this all the way around there. This is why we have the sun in the middle, because it's supposed to be reflecting both ways. It's just like that. But this is direct. There's no curving magnetic fields between the tropics. You find that time exactly the same. Then you've got to try and trace back this, because the sun follows a magnetic field line like that, and it's always moving like that in that curved path. Okay? Although it tends to straighten up in our arc of horizon, it's still moving as a curve. It's only because it's moving that way it ends up going straight, like coming over our being meridian, you know, dead like 12 o'clock in the day or night or anything, in the middle of the day, middle of the night. It ends up at your zenith. Get that? So it's about the Milky Way. So two-way drift, which creates a straight way at your zenith. That's the curving magnetic field. And we come down to the Milky Way because the sun is in the Milky Way, okay? And you've got to understand the ecliptic plane, down and out, up and in. So down and out is the southern summer, up and in is the northern summer. So this is the old Meta Bill Gates symbol. He knows all about it. Lying, creepy people they are, Freemasons. So there's the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. So it's the ecliptic plane. That's what it does. It starts working its way up like this. So as the ecliptic, because the sun is on the ecliptic plane, remember? So as this ecliptic plane starts leveling out, gets to about here, that's the equinox, starts coming back up that way, there's the sun stepping in with it. Okay? Which means it's coming away from the southern hemisphere. And you've got to realise this is mirrored to this. So as the Milky Way is coming away from the south, it's actually creeping back down into here, because that is that image. So the Milky Way is coming down. We're losing it in the western horizon now. At the start of the season, it comes around like this. It follows this line, that curving magnetic field line. And then you see in the beginning of the season, but gradually it's just, each night it's more and more to the west. Now it's gone right down to the west and starts disappearing. And it goes out of our Milky Way season, the southern Milky Way season. So it's getting close and going back around here. It's back around there. And that's the north, because it's mirrored. So as it's coming down here in the south, it's creeping back up there in the north. So this is why we get ours in the south. They say the best time is between September and March. But you know, we still, well, probably not now maybe, but it's just disappeared recently. What is it now? May, beginning of May. But the best, they say September to March, because you get it more over your zenith, over your horizon here, the top here, this area here, not early on or later on. It's there. But at the end of the season, it's cooled back around here. So it's cooling back around the northern. You know, this is the South Pole though, but it's a mirrored. It's just inverted. So as it closes back around to the south, it's actually going back up into the north. It's actually cooling back up into here. Pretty freaky, isn't it? You see in the mythological stories of Egypt, they're talking about the Milky Way and that, Osiris. They mention the 12 gates. Then they go and say 1 hour per gate. You know, you talk about gates in Enoch, so there's your 12 gates. It's 12 hours, 1 hour each. It's over the night time. They're Milky Way over the night. Half day, half night. Pretty easy to understand. So there's another image of the tilted down and out ecliptic plane. So there's the southern hemisphere, there's the northern. So in the southern summer, it's down here, the sun. Then it starts working its way up, ends up in the northern hemisphere for their summer. Okay? So there's so we go September to March, March to September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So there's a period there, 3 months, where you sort of lose the Milky Way, because it's between the two. It's between the two fields. You're losing sight of it. Somehow. I haven't got that on my mind, but before it starts because they say the good Milky Way season in the north is between March to September. And we're September to March here. Is that right? That's, yeah. Is there a gap? So, now, then you've got to think there's, if you understand religion, they talk about the holy trees. It's probably not called holy, but something about the trees. They're referring to the conifers and all that, or pines or whatever, because you're getting some of them grow out like this, and others will grow up like this. That's all representing the Milky, the Ecliptic Plane, because it's down and out, up and in. That's why they're called holy trees. And to sit beneath these trees is actually quite good for you. Meditate below these trees, sit at the base. There's another picture of the flat earth, you haven't seen it before. So we get a parabolic image of the northern star rotation, it's around the north, but we'll get it way down here on our arc of horizon, our individual arcs of horizon, our perspective, visual perspective of our, what we can see. So we'll get a rotation here, it's flat in the north, but that image up there is parabolically reflected off this curve here, and this is how you get this parabolic mirror effect. It comes back off this curve into your arc of horizon. So you see that image. This is an earlier video I did on the spider web. Batman, Hollywood, they know all about it. Spider web. There's the Meta, Bill Gates, all these freaking freakmasons, they know it all. They just don't tell you. But this is exactly what happens to the Milky Way as it moves over in the season. It gets lower and lower, spins around here, which is now appearing up here. Yep, understanding the sun's in a lemma, we all get one on our arc of horizon. Everyone is on a meridian, so you'll all get one. North to south, all the way around, isn't it? I just saw a video, I won't say where I saw it, and they're talking about the magnetic field of Earth. They've got no idea what they're saying. They're trying to say Earth is not like a ring magnet. I don't know what makes you wonder, what they're, are they shills or what? I don't know, but maybe they just don't understand. But Earth is definitely like a ring magnet. It's got a radial is coming this way, the changing magnetic field, but it doesn't have the axial where it's going around this way. Well, the Earth does. The magnet won't, unless it's maybe electromagnet, because it has to have the electrical element in it. But Earth has the electrical element involved because it has the sun. It's electrical, and the sun moves around the horizon of the black hole. So because it's moving, look, it's moving. That means the magnetic field is going to be moving. So there's the two motions there anyway. So there's your axial and your radial. There's the radial, and there's your axial as it drifts around this way. So if anyone tells you it's not like a magnet, they're full of crap, don't listen to them. You just go and explain this to them, okay? So we all know that in electrical engineering, or I don't know what they call it, but anyway, changing magnetic field via the tropics. But this is a new thing, no one's ever known this. I'm the first to explain all this stuff, the changing magnetic field in the tropics here. You're told the magnetic fields from the south flows from the South Pole over to the North Pole. It's just a load of 100% rubbish. Nothing crosses the tropics. They know that. The wind doesn't, nor do the sea currents. It drops to the ground. and then shoots across thy ground. Along the dust of ground you shall dwell for the rest of your days. That's the magnetic field, along the ground and up and over the fields, over the cattle, over the beast. Over the kettles and over the beast. Over the kettles and over the beast. All the powers in here. The beast. But the cattle is more scattered. Put all the cattle together, you got one big beast. So there's a good explanation for your ring magnet, okay? So there's the southern part of the ring magnet, there's the northern part of the ring magnet. There's a place in between. You've got to understand, on a ring magnet you have a south and a north, but on the edge here, back in there, you have a north and a south as well. And what do you have on Earth? You have a negative field here and a positive field above. So you've got two there, and then you've also got the two here. North pole, south pole. All the energy comes together. It comes, it goes up and here, it shoots down here. All the energy is down here. And this one, all the energy is down here. These are the capacitor plates. And there's the dielectric in there. It creates the electromagnetic force, or magnetic induction. And that's the Milky Way that curls into there. That's the energy, the power of the sun is the Milky Way. The electrical cable feeding back into the main, system. But our sun out here is the image. The real stuff's going on back here. There's all the machinery. That's where you make your plasma and the tokamak. You've got to centralise it in this magnetic field. It's magnetically locked. It's got an S curve. Winds up, winds down, winds up, winds down. The sun doesn't actually, but all the stars and everything else does. The sun just moves around the horizon of the black hole. Magnetically locked. I think I've explained that pretty well. You should understand that now. I don't know why some of these big flat earth sites are saying it's not like a ring magnet. That's just ridiculous. It's so obvious. I've done a lot of videos of using the ring magnet. So there you go. Give us a like, subscribe. Man, they've really shut me down, YouTube. Just nothing going on here. I'm thinking I might just stop altogether and start writing books. At least I'll make some money that way with a bit of luck. Cheers, guys.